Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to remove an engine light, an intermittent engine light on a Passat B6 if you have the code P2015. So if you have an engine light on your dash that keeps going on and off, this might be a P2015 fault. So we're just going to connect a diagnostic tool. We have the OBD11. We're going to connect that to the car and read it now. Yeah, so we have it plugged in there. We're just going to press connect on the app. So the car is connected now, so we're just gonna scan it now and wait for it to read all the codes. So there's 10 faults found, so we're just gonna look at them. And the first one is the engine one. What's good about the OBD11, it's going to tell you what the code is, what it is, and you can actually Google the code as well, and it takes you straight to that in Google. So you know about the engine oil temperature sensor, but this is the code that is resulting in an intermittent engine light. So it's code P2015 and it's the intake manifold runner position sensor. Now these are very expensive, brand new, especially for a car this age. You probably don't want to spend money on that, but we have a very simple fix for you that only costs us €10. Okay, so we know what the fault is now. We're just going to clear and then check back and scan it again once we've fixed the fault and see if it comes back. So we've taken off the engine cover right now and it seems to be very accessible. It's just in here. This is the intake manifold runner. So there's the sensor for it, and then there's 3 T-screws here that we'll have to loosen. Right, so by the looks of it, it looks like somebody might have already done this job. So what we're going to do is take it apart anyway, make sure it's installed correctly, and also give this connector a good clean with electrical cleaner. But it's weird that the code still shows up even after clearing the codes a couple times now. But I just assumed that it's probably this, but it's weird that it's still giving the fault. So since this was only a tenner, we might replace it with this anyway and just do the job and clear it and see what happens. Going to cable tie this out of the way for now so that we can access screws freely and have as much space as possible. Perfect. Okay, the advantage of being a girl and having small hands is that you can do this by hand and catch it when you're done. Don't feel any. Oh, there is a spring. Okay, there's something in the spring. Somebody is broken. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you can see that green thing, but it looks like it's dirt of some sort, and that may cause interference. Disconnect the spring. Okay, the spring should be out now. Okay, should be able to lift this out. Interesting. Somebody put a rubber band around this spring, and from the heat it's melted. Jesus. Why would someone do that? Okay, so by the looks of it, this part on the previous repair was installed incorrectly. With this, it has a little ledge here, which I didn't see any of the videos online talk about. The best way to install this is not have any brackets on yet. Depress the lever and then hook this little bracket part on behind the plastic bit. So you'll see there, if you look at this angle, my glove is stuck, hold on. If you look at this angle, you see that that bracket is sitting behind the mechanism, and that's what you want. The previous repair didn't have this, so it was just loose. So this lever could move a lot more than it had to. So the reason why the code pops up is when this lever actually goes past this position. So that's why you can get this cheap repair and this bracket, which prevents it from moving past this point. So it'll be able to move this way and then only to there, not past it, because if you look at here, when I let go, it moves way past that point. So if you install this correctly and it sits there, it'll never move past that. Whereas when we started taking off this in the first place, it was loose. It was like this. That's how it was installed. So the lever still could go up and down. Okay, so as you can see, once you release the lever, it's solid. This bracket is moving, and that's exactly what you want to see before you install it back. Whereas with the last time when we took it off, this bracket was totally loose because it wasn't catching behind the lever here. So my advice is line up, depress this closer to here, line this up correctly, then put on this screw loosely, and then put in this screw all the way in to hold the bracket together, and then tighten this at the end. Then when you release the lever, the whole bracket is stable and you're able to put the unit back in. We got the spring in, as you can see, and once we have that in, we're going to start lining up the bolts. Is that still attached?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going through there, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we're just going to align the first one.
That's the one, yeah.
So that's more or less in. This bracket looks nice and flush. And we're just gonna put this back in. 1 second. Oh, okay. And put this connector back on. Should just clip in. Once you hear the click. There we go. And now to see if it'll start. So we've just connected everything back up, everything's bolted in. Just gonna give it a start and see if the light has disappeared, but either way we'll probably have to clear it. the light is actually already gone, but that's because probably we cleared it, so we're just gonna connect it up and see if it's coming up again.
You can just stop it and you can check the faults.
Way! Yeah, so we've just scanned it there, and the fault code P2015 is gone. So boys and girls, if you're doing this job, do it right, because if the previous person who did that did it right, we'd never be in this situation. So yeah, that was a really easy fix. Cost me £10 on Amazon. I'll leave the link down below, but they're pretty much all the same. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. For once, this was a straightforward video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.